Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to quickly introduce myself. I'm Berlian Muhammad Ilham, student of 11 Maret University. Today, I'd like to discuss about electrospun polyethylene fluoride containing SiO2 as lithium-ion battery separator, effect of SiO2 colloidal volume ratio. First, I'm going to present the introduction. The use of lithium-ion batteries can pose as a safety concern when they are applied to portable electronic device and electric vehicle. Its secure use is largely determined by its operating environment, battery chemical, and durability against physical damage. When a aspirator is damaged, it releases oxygen from the cathode, causing uncontrolled thermal runaway, which can possibly prompt the battery to emit a smoke, fire, and even explosion. Nanofiber spartals from polyethylene fluoride have shown good performance, and PVDF nanofiber spartals have excellent mechanical and electrical properties. Some of the material added to the nanofiber sparator, among many material, silica is the most widely used. The electrospinning method is a simple non-mechanical technique that produces large quantities of nanofiber with a well-defined topology and at a relatively low cost. A high voltage is applied on the polymer solution contained in a series and a metal collector. Next, I will share with you about the materials. So the material used in the experiment are 1. Polyethylene fluoride, 2. dimethyl formamide, and 3. acetone, and 4. the tetraacyl orthosilicate, and 5. acetic acid, and 6 is ethanol. In the next section, I will show you the procedure. So the procedure starts with the PVDF SiO2 precursor requires two main solution, namely PVDF solution and colloidal SiO2. The colloidal SiO2 was prepared using the salt gel method by mixing tetraacyl orthosilicate with acetic acid and distilled water as a solvent. The resulting colloidal was then allowed to stand for 2 hours. Furthermore, the colloid was filtered and the precipitate was washed with ethanol to form SiO2. The precipitated form was dissolved with methanol to produce 3000 ppm SiO2 solution. The PVDF SiO2 precursor was prepared by mixing DMF and acetone in a certain volume ratio. Then PVDF was added at 50% at the total mass of DMF and acetone. Lastly, colloidal SiO2 was added according to predetermined variation, and the mixture was stirred for 8 hours at a temperature of 60 degrees using a magnetic stirrer. Next is electrospinning method. The PVDF SiO2 solution was inserted into the syringe. The tip of the needle was connected to the positive pole of high voltage DC power source, while the ground of the high voltage DC power source was connected to a rotating cylindrical collector. The voltage was set at 15 kilovolt and the flow rate of the precursor was 1.6 milliliter per hour. The distance from the tip of the needle to the collector was 15 centimeter. The electrospinning process was carried out for 2.5 hours, and the resulting PVDF SiO2 nanofiber membrane was then dried in oven at 50, 50 degrees Celsius for 8 hours. Then I'm going to present the result. First is morphological image. Figure 1 shows the morphological image of the PVDF SiO2 composite nanofiber produced. The pictures show even distribution over a large area can be observed. The nanofiber membrane show interconnected fibers with a nanometer size. Surface roughness was found to increase when the volume of SiO2 was increased. It appeared that the resulting nanofiber had spot attached to the BSiO2 particles. Second, FTIR characterization. Figure 2 presents the spectra of the nanofiber membranes from the FTIR characterization. There were three strong peaks. The first two peaks are associated with CF stretching vibration and the other can be associated with the CC bond in PVDF. The peak observed at 478 centimeter can be associated with the SeO-Se vibration, indicating the formation of SeO2. Third is shrinkage ratio. The membrane was subjected to heating for 30 minutes at 130 degrees Celsius. There were shrinkage of the PP separator commercial, PVDF, and PVDF SeO2 separator membranes. The shrinkage that occurred in PP was very significant that the membrane had changed shape. The PP material has shrunk because it has a melting point of 135 degrees Celsius. Thus, when the material is subjected to temperatures close to or above the melting point, shrinkage will occur. Next is porosity of membrane. The increase in the porosity of the separator membrane was due to the fact of SeO2 is a porous material. Thus, it allows for additional electron absorption into the pores of SeO2. Next is mechanical strength. The tensile strength is associated with the number of physical bonding that occurs. The high number of physical bonding in the composite material was due SeO2 that assists in tightening the membrane structure and decrease the distance between the molecule. Last is battery performance, charge, and discharge capacity. The addition of SeO2 had increased the porosity and capacity of the PVDF nanofiber membrane. This is because SeO2 can adhere to the nanofiber, accelerating the transfer for lithium ions. And the last one is the conclusion. PVDF SeO2 nanofiber membranes were successfully produced using the electrospinning method, and the PVDF SeO2 nanofiber membranes produced had a higher porosity, mechanical strength, and thermal stability when compared to commercial PP separator membrane and just PVDF nanofiber membrane. The addition of SeO2 had increased the porosity and capacity of the fiber PVDF nanofiber membrane, which can be associated to SeO2 ability to adhere to the nanofiber, prompting the acceleration of transfer ion. Acknowledgement. This work was funded by the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology, Republic of Indonesia. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope that I have shared will be beneficial for all of us. Thank you.